In our last video, we left off with an error message. Prescription didn't validate. Schema didn't validate. So, while it's still fresh on my brain, let's go through all of the things we had to change in order to get the prescription to pass. Okay, if you notice over here in the vitals, we have vital signs. There must be vital signs in the system because we got to get the patient's height and weight and body temperature. So those things must go. So always make sure that there's vitals in the system. Of course, if you're going to put vitals in, you know you have to make an encounter to put in vitals. You can't put in vitals without an encounter. The other thing is in the contacts, you want to make sure that you have a what's this thing called? Phone number. A phone number for the patient. So name, address, and phone number, because phone number for the patient must go as well. In the choices, you must select SMS. Yes or no. You can't leave it unselected. You have to select yes or no for the SMS. As you can see also here while we're here is that put it in as the default pharmacy for the patient. So you never have to come here and set it. It will always be set in the prescription process. Next thing you want to do is make sure that on your facilities that you have a phone number and fax number on the facility. Phone number, fax number, address, city, state, and zip code. Make sure all those things are in there. The next thing to make sure is when you go to go to practice, and on whatever pharmacy it is that you're selecting, in our case, we are selecting the, oh, sorry, it's Bayview. Sorry, I'm going too far down. This one right here. Oh, by the way, I changed pharmacies on you. You want to make sure that you have the NPI number and the NCPDP number. This number here you can get from the pharmacy. You have to call them direct. Sometimes when this is imported from the CMS, that number will be correct. 90% of the time, that number is incorrect. You have to get the correct number in there. That will cause the error. Make sure your phone numbers are in there, both phone and fax. If either one is missing, that will cause an error. Okay, so those were some of the things we had to change to make sure that our fax went, or our message is going to go through. So what was anything else we had to make sure of? No, that was it. So what we're going to do now is go back to the patient's dashboard, and now we're probably going to do our finalized message. Remember, I said that as long as it's the same day, that the checkbox will not be there. So we're going to go ahead and click the transmit button this time, and we're going to click confirm because I'm not changing the pharmacy, and we're going to click transmit. And here we go. All right, so once it's gone out and it comes back with a response, you should see this box down here at the bottom. Please check this last final step. Click here and it'll open a new page, new tab in your browser, and then you want to go ahead and click log in. From there, you should see your prescription that you have just transmitted. You want to review your prescription, check the box, and click Sign Selected Prescription to actually send it. It is not sent until you check that box and click the button Sign Selected Prescription. Okay, that is the final step. Once you do that, you can log out and be good to go. All right, so also, you can send up to 5 prescriptions at once for a patient. No longer do you have to send each prescription individually. You can send all 5 prescriptions at the same time. I don't think that was a thing before. But anyway, the other thing that I need to mention while I'm in here is to remind you that there must be a medical problem in there or an ICD-10 because the system will go and get the ICD-10 for this patient. And I think that should cover it. So if you have a schema not validate, then some data somewhere is missing. Check the medical problems, check the vitals, make sure that they're vitals, make sure all the patient information is there, such as the name, address, phone number. Make sure that the choices that they have SMS, either yes or no. And oh yeah, pharmacy information. The NCPDP number and the NPI, the phone number and fax number must all be there. If you have all of that information in place and it still does not validate schema, send us an email with your NPI number.